How often do you find your mind drifting back to that history? Those regrets, mistakes, or past hurts replay like an old movie in your head, leaving you feeling heavy and remorseful. Or perhaps your gaze is always fixed on tomorrow's mystery, filled with anxiety about the unknown, worrying about potential bad things, leaving your heart constantly unsettled? Do you feel stuck, trapped between memories of the past and imaginings of the future, missing out on the gift, the only reality that's truly happening, the present moment? You long for inner peace, for the ability to enjoy the beauty right in front of you, yet you find yourself like a prisoner of time, unable to break free. And if you're feeling this way, maybe even starting to worry if there's something wrong with you for being so caught up, let me reassure you, you are absolutely not alone. And this isn't a personal failing. It's actually tied to how our incredible, complex brains work. They seem to have this natural tendency either to dwell on the past, which has already happened and cannot be changed, trying to find explanations or learn lessons, or to try to predict and control the future that hasn't arrived yet, seeking a sense of security. This inner conflict, the desire to live in the present while being tightly held by the past and future, is the root of many people's internal struggles. It's not just occasional mind wandering, it's a persistent, energy-draining mental state. It makes you absent-minded when you're with family and friends, struggle to concentrate at work, and feel restless even when trying to relax. You might find that by repeatedly chewing on past pain, you miss the warmth and opportunities right before you. By excessively worrying about future risks, you give up possibilities for trying and creating. The most direct cost of living elsewhere is that it strips you of the richness and reality of life in this moment, leaving you feeling tired, anxious, and even losing enthusiasm for life. We often think reflecting on the past helps avoid repeating mistakes, and worrying about the future prevents problems. But when these thoughts become an uncontrollable habit, they are no longer wisdom, but a burden, a shadow hindering our progress. If this helps you grow, subscribe to keep becoming better. But please believe, this is not a fate you cannot escape. Although our brain has this tendency, it also possesses amazing plasticity. You can learn how to gently yet firmly bring your attention back to the here and now, the only dimension of time that truly belongs to you. This doesn't mean completely forgetting the past or being indifferent to the future, but learning a new way to relate to time, a more balanced, wiser way that brings inner peace. As much research and practice indicate, the concept of living in the present, though ancient, endures and is widely discussed today, including profound explanations like Eckhart Tolle's in The Power of Now, emphasizing its importance for personal well-being. This requires some understanding and, more importantly, consistent practice, but change is entirely possible. So, what exactly should you do? First, we need to understand why our minds tend to wander. Part of the reason lies in our brain's default mode network, a mechanism that tends to become active when we're not focused on a specific task, leading us to self-reflect, recall the past, or plan for the future. At the same time, past experiences, especially negative ones, leave deep emotional imprints, making them easier to retrieve repeatedly. Worries about the future stem from a fear of uncertainty and a desire for control. Recognizing this as a natural brain tendency, rather than a personal flaw, can help reduce self-blame and allow you to view your thoughts more objectively. Next, the core practice is to deliberately cultivate the ability to live in the present, often referred to as mindfulness or awareness. One of the key figures who brought mindfulness into the field of mental health and popularized it is Jon Kabat-Zinn, the founder of mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR. This isn't some mystical technique, but rather the practice of consciously paying attention to the present moment's experience without judgment. The simplest and most effective way to start is with your breath. Wherever you are, you can gently rest your attention on your breath, feeling the process of air entering and leaving your body, the rise and fall of your chest or abdomen. When your mind wanders, and it inevitably will, don't criticize yourself. Just gently, again and again, bring your attention back to the breath. This simple exercise is like strengthening your attention muscle, helping you break free from automatic thought patterns and anchor yourself in the present. Besides breath, you can also practice focusing on bodily sensations, like the feeling of your feet firmly on the ground, the breeze on your skin, or the warmth of a cup in your hands. Or, when doing mundane tasks like brushing your teeth, washing dishes, or eating, try to engage fully, noticing every movement, every taste, every texture. These small practices, accumulated over time, will greatly enhance your ability to be aware of and settled in the present moment. Regarding the shadows of the past, what we need to learn is not forgetting, but reconciliation and transformation. Repeatedly dwelling on pain doesn't change the facts. It only deepens the wounds. Try to distinguish between reflective learning and ruminative regret. Healthy review aims to extract lessons and then let go. When you find yourself caught in negative memories of the past, try practicing self-compassion. Imagine how you would comfort a good friend who went through the same thing. Try treating yourself with the same gentleness, understanding, and lack of criticism. Acknowledge the limitations of that time. Forgive the past you. You can also try asking yourself, what did I learn from that experience? How did it shape who I am today? Is it possible that those difficulties also made me stronger or wiser? Shifting your perspective from victim to learner or survivor can significantly change your emotional experience of the past. Remember, accepting the past doesn't mean approving of or liking it. It means acknowledging that it happened and then choosing not to let it define your present and future. As for worries about the future, the key is to differentiate between constructive planning and destructive worrying. Planning is specific, action-oriented, and helps us prepare for potential goals. Worrying, however, is often vague, catastrophic, involves repetitive thinking without leading to action. When you find yourself caught in anxiety about the future, try this. Ask yourself, is this worry based on facts or imagination? How likely is it to actually happen? If the worst-case scenario did occur, could I cope? What resources and abilities do I have? Often, you'll find the worry is exaggerated, or that even if it happened, you have the capacity to handle it. Another effective method is setting worry time. Designate a short period each day, say 15 minutes, specifically for thinking about the things that make you anxious. Once the time is up, consciously shift your attention to other things. This acts like a specific container for worry, preventing it from spilling over into all aspects of your life. Also, practice trust. Trust in life's uncertainty and trust in your own ability to cope with the unknown. Focusing on what you can do and control right now is the best way to alleviate future anxiety. To summarize, the key to escaping the shadows of the past and worries about the future lies in consciously shifting your life's center of gravity back to the present moment. This requires understanding how our brain works, cultivating awareness through mindfulness practices, like focusing on breath, body sensations, daily activities, as advocated by figures like Jon Kabat-Zinn, a widely validated effective method, learning to make peace with the past, distinguishing reflection from rumination, practicing self-compassion and perspective shifting, and effectively managing future anxieties, distinguishing planning from worrying, challenging anxious thoughts, setting worry time. Most importantly, actively participate in and experience life here and now, seeking out those flow experiences described by Mihaly. This isn't an overnight process. It requires patience and consistent practice. But every time you successfully pull yourself back from past regrets or future anxieties to settle into the present, you are creating more inner peace and freedom for yourself. Starting today, try choosing one method that feels most feasible for you. Maybe it's practicing 5 minutes of mindful breathing daily. Maybe it's being gentler with yourself the next time you get lost in memories. Or maybe it's actively challenging an anxious thought. Share your thoughts in the comments, or which method you plan to try. You can also share this video with friends you think might need it. Remember to subscribe to our channel for more content on personal growth and emotional management. Please remember, your life is happening right here, right now, Experience it fully.